Maybe you have a response actually to John's comment first, and then I might have about how these projects might potentially be able to inform future design in programs. Just from your perspective, you're not not being holden to Ontario Health. You don't speak for Matt at this moment in time. Just let us know because you've been very involved.
Yeah, you're right, Walter. We don't, but I think it's a great question. And you just made a comment a couple of minutes ago about kind of a nuance about policy direction as well. So I'll just kind of qualify this to say that from an OH perspective, obviously, we also don't set provincial policy, and we leave that to our ministry colleagues. But I think both from within the ministry, our colleagues at Ontario Health at Home, and within Ontario Health, there's been keen interest in watching and participating along with the OHTs in the planning work, the early implementation work, and the troubleshooting that has happened along the way in really a joint manner, because the lessons learned have been rich, I would say, even over these 2.5 years, coming up on 3 years of planning work, and then really exciting to be at the stage where we have all 7 launched and we start to kind of shift into implementation mode and some of the lessons learned within the operational space. I'll say generally, and some of this has been communicated quite broadly via the ministry as they announced some of the work to modernize home care that OH is involved in. There's several opportunities, very practical opportunities that the home care leading projects will help to inform when it comes to that broad home care modernization work. So a couple of them relate to the standardization of SPO contracts going forward, and I know Janine has been living and breathing with the OHTs a lot of the procurement work, so definitely will hand to her in a minute or two to comment on that with a little bit more specificity. But a lot of learning that has gone into the behind the scenes work on procurement, and then the maintenance kind of operation under a unique capitation model for the SPOs. So lots to learn there that I think we are looking at provincially as we look at transforming SPO contracts for the future. You spoke a lot, and John commented specifically on the local delivery models that each team is putting into place. While there is certainly nuance from team to team in terms of the populations that they're focusing on and the models of care that they're enacting, there's a lot that can be done through and learned through the evaluation work that HSPN is leading that can translate to some work to inform future standardized outcomes and quality expectations for teams. So again, a lot that will be, I think, pulled from leading projects to inform that work provincially. We know that there is a standardized assignment model for care coordinators that has been worked up in order to stand up these projects, and a lot of the stuff that is less kind of interesting to talk about on screen, but it's like super important operationally is the development of job descriptions and workflows and standard service offerings. None of this can happen in an environment with like that we're working in within the system without standing up all of that. So just again, a huge kudos to the 7 teams who have kind of lived and breathed the development of all of those. I'll call it like the infrastructure behind kind of the clinical implementation that's now happening on the ground. And again, all of those learnings will be transferable to modernization work as it continues. And then the last comment that I'll make is right now, we didn't get into a huge amount of detail on this, but right now the projects have launched in an interim state. They are not operating within the CRIS system for a number of reasons, and it's only temporary. We'll be transitioning back to the CRIS system, we anticipate in the summer. And so again, I think a lot of learnings that can be kind of derived from the work of the leading projects to inform how this might work in future for other home care programs that might operate within the CRIS system as well, like hospital to home and others. So a lot of information I think that will be pulled upon to inform future provincial efforts. And just again, a huge kudos to the teams for kind of slogging through the learnings. Going first is always a challenging assignment, and we're so grateful for them for their tenacity and resilience as we've kind of gone through the last few years.